Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, Mr. Silly P. It's Monday the 17th of October, we've got new mods and we've got some updates. The map Spruce Mountain Farms by Maps by Mako has had an update and does not require a new save game. The map Hillaby Creek by Gamer Designs had an update and does require a new save game, and the map Felsbrunn 22 by the Lords has had an update and also requires a new save game. The John Deere 6R series by Blauer, the Feltrina MR4A by SMI Modding Team, the Agramash APN 30 by Karas and Arek, the package of premium pallets and bags by Happy Mole, and that's relevant because that's a required mod for one of the mods we're going to look at in a little while. The pack with small chicken coops by Bar T, and the water fountains pack by Puma 145 have all had updates. We start with a decorative item in front of me, the Great Pumpkin of 2019. This is by Adub Modding, Stoneway Designs, ABP Team. 0.7 megabytes download, 3 slots on console, 200 to buy. You find it in the build mode and decoration. It's just a Halloween decorative object. I think at night it lights up as well, if I recall correctly. I think it does. Or did I dream it? Just trying to find a picture of it. But anyway, yeah, you can put them out and it's just a nice decorative object if you want to go down a pumpkin-based theme for Halloween. Under decoration, under others. There we go, 200 for the Great Pumpkin. Lovely. Next we've got this Farmers Market Sell Point. This is 1.67 megabytes download, 14 slots on console, 50,000 to buy. It's by RagingReapers. It does say it will take pretty much everything apart from methane. You will not find a sell price for methane, but it takes pretty much everything else. You've got a bit there as well because it will do wood as well, so you can sell your lumber here too. Prices, I've had a quick look and it seems to be the farmers market we're looking at is the one at the top, because there are the farmers market mods. There's a farmers market on this map as well. I think it's the top one of each of these. So prices are pretty much in line with or thereabouts with other mods and the map itself. Nothing too crazy or anything like that, but it's just an extra sell point to throw in should you wish. You find it in the build mode, production and sell points. It is that one just there for 50 grand. The farmers market by RagingReapers. Next we've got this placeable ramp, brickwork ramp, like so. 0.52 megabytes download, 3 slots on console, 1,400 to buy by Adub Modding, Stoneway Designs and ABP Team. So for loading of vehicles, or if you just want to gain a bit of height for whatever it is you want to do, it's entirely up to you of course. There's ramps quite steep up here, so I would trailers and stuff, tractors possibly. I'm just trying to think. Skid steer loaders will probably be alright up with that. It'd be a case of just trying it out once you get it. But it's also under build mode and decoration under others, and it was just that one there, 1,400. As I previously said, lovely. Next we've got this. This is the Shelter by LS Design, 0.98 megabytes download, 4 slots on console, 8,000 to buy under build mode and shelters. Nicely designed. Nice. I mean, they are I-beams technically, aren't they? They are I-beams in the thing, yeah. Of course they are. Look, got the eye at the end there. New looking shed. It's not weathered and old or anything like that. This is a new build with the guttering and stuff on it as well. Under build mode and sheds. That one just there. 8,000 slot count comes down to 1. Lovely. That's by LS Design. Next we've got this. This is something a bit different. This is the round firewood storage by Redphoenix. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, or you've done it or not. If you don't do logging, or you don't like doing logging, or you don't do storylines or narratives, it's not something you might have ever really done. It's 1.78 megabytes download, 3 slots on console, 750 to buy. This was under build mode decoration as well. Now, as you can see, we've got the cage here with a lid on. If we come to here, we can close the gate in the front. If we come round to the side just slightly, you can open the top. So it depends how you want to fill this up. I've got one, I had one with it open and one with the top open. But if you do logging and you cut your, normally into, I would say, 50 centimetre chunks, these were cut at 1 metre, and trying to cut through those, it didn't really like it very much. But cut at 50s, the chainsaw will, if you get the right angle, Carol, There we go. You can buck up your logs into manageable firewood chunks. So if in your storyline you want to be doing firewood for the locals or for yourself, or and decide you think I'll move that out of the way first because sometimes it's always cut through properly, and then you can cut through these like so. Grab your firewood. Now you can place it in that one, or you can just come on to this one, drop it in the top, and just fill it up with all your firewood you've cut. So your firewood storage pick up. There we go. Spend a bit of time filling one of those up and add it to your storyline if you want. It's pretty cool actually. The trouble is I can see myself spending. I would get so engrossed in cutting it all up and then spending hours just filling one of these up because I'm a bit bonkers. So under build mode, under decoration, under others, and this one's a little bit further. Was it a bit further along that way? Where was it? It was definitely under decoration. Oh, there we go. The other side of the pumpkin. 750 slot count comes down to 1, and when we place them, you can rotate around to whatever position you want. There you go. The round firewood storage by Redphoenix. Next, we've got the small garden. Now, this is a little bit like the Omatana open gardens. It's an alternative to a greenhouse. This is by Happy Mole, and this is what I was saying about a little while ago, that the required mod to go with this is the package of premium pallets and bags, because there's something in there. What was it called? Garden Substrate. Now, Garden Substrate, as far as I'm aware, it's like soil, but in like a pellet form. I think, if I'm correct. But anyway, that's what that looks like with that extra mod. So, Garden Substrate. Now, you need to get that to work this, because what this requires. You can do tomatoes, lettuces, and strawberries. Now you can do each one of those with fertilizer or each one of those with manure. But the recipe requires substrate, water, seed, solid fertilizer, solid fertilizer or manure, whichever, and straw. So quite a few things required. It will take, as far as I can tell, it's going to take about 2,000 litres of garden substrate. And like I said, you can do it either with pallets or bags. You'll find these under pallets. So that should... There you go, that's pouring and will disappear. Or you can do it with the pallets. The pallets will gradually dwindle their way down very happily. This was, did I say 4.8 megabytes download, 17 slots on console, and 500 to buy. So pretty cheap, not going to lie. That's the one we want. Under build mode, under production, under greenhouses. It's that one out there, let's say. That's how it looks when you get it. This is an incremental move round, not a sweeping move round, but place it wherever you want, and I say however many you can reach the limit, as I found out in the Western Wilds. So I've got manure in mind, so I can pick one of those. I mean, I'll go for, I don't know, let's go for tomatoes first, doesn't it, man? But it's growing tomatoes. Now you can put multiple things on. I have found in the past with gardens and greenhouses and things, if you put multiple things on, each one the process will slow down a little bit. But you can do, different ones if you want. I can add in lettuce, and then it'll put some lettuce and some tomatoes. But I generally, if I want to do a greenhouse, I will go for one thing if it's me. The recipes aren't huge, and the cycles per month aren't high. So these are going to take a bit of time. These aren't going to be rapid. You're not going to absolutely hoon through stuff here. As you can probably tell, if the recipe was you had more of each item or a higher cycles per month, you might do. But yeah. That's something a bit different, a bit more rustic, I think. I think one of the pictures shows it with a few beehives around the side and that kind of thing. It just has that feel to it, doesn't it? I like it. Really nicely detailed as well. Put yourself a little garden shed next to it or something. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so those you'll find under here, under objects, under pallets. So all of these are on the end here that are part of this pack. But there's the garden substrate, 1,050 litre ones for 105, or you can do the bags here, which are 50 litre bags. But you can also do this in multiples. These go up to 10s, and I think these go up to, I think these were 10s, or 8s. But anyway, yeah. So that's where you can find those. Lovely. The small garden by Happy Mole. Next we've got the Bunkersilo medium. this can contact other bunker silos that have passed on. This is by Dark Freak. This is 2.66 megabytes download, 4 slots on console, 25,000 to buy. Nicely made, nicely detailed with the tyres and stuff as well. I like you got the little drainage channel across the front as well. Nice bit of detail added in. That is 300,000 litres. That was supposed to be 300,000 litres. I'm wondering if someone's bled through because I had 300,000 litres. Unless it's spilt over the sides or gone out the back. Oh, that's weird. I've lost some somewhere. But as you can see, I'm probably, well, maybe not even a third of the way up this. So this is going to take 1 million litres easily. If not, I would say maybe 1.2 possibly. So it's a fair old size, but that's a little bit worrying about. I wonder whether having these sides on here is preventing you from seeing it, whether it has bled through the walls a little bit. But no, and then you would compact it and away you go. You find it in the build mode and silos. There you go, 25 grand. Slot count comes down to 1 for the Bunkersilo medium by Dark Freak. Next we've got we'll get to that in a minute, we've got the sheep pasture, this one here. This is a great one as well. Not a bad price, holds quite a few. This will hold 300 sheep. It's by Brummie Farmer, 6.57 megabytes to download. 7 slots on console, 51,000 to buy. So again, for 300 sheep, that's brilliant. But because it's a pasture, it does require water as well. That's not provided for you. So water point is just there. Your feed trough is there. This will hold 60,000 litres of feed, 30,000 litres of water. If you open your gate here, he says, when's the gate opening? Oh, there we go. Your dialogue box is just here for your animals. There you go, closes from there. And then your wool pallets will spawn out to the side just there. Under build mode, under animals, sheep. There we go, 51 grand, 300 sheep. Takes up a bit of space, it's a fair size, but it should be if it's going to hold 300 sheep, I guess. There you go, that's by Brummie Farmer. Next we've got the chicken coop pack. This is quite nice. This is by Nikki. It's 12.69 megabytes download. There are 11 slots each. We've got a single coop one here. This will hold 40 chickens, and that's 5,000 to buy. And then we've got a double coop one there, which is 10 grand, and will hold 80 chickens. Dialogue box for this one is just here. But you can open these here. You've got this little bit in the front here. I love that. I tell you what would be cool, having something like that that has the eggs. Like, you remember on FS15? Where you had to go and pick up the eggs. Did 17 know that? That's what I'm trying to remember now. And you kind of collect them up and put them into an egg box. That would be pretty cool. But anyway, regardless, yeah, open it up and you've got that there. That's the same on the other one over there as well. This one, the feed trough, feed trigger is around the side, and your egg boxes, pallets will spawn down there. This one, the dialogue box and the feed trigger is both at the front. That does open as well. And your spawn point is just there at the front too. Under build mode, under animals and chickens, 5 grand and 10 grand respectively. These will take sorghum as well as wheat and barley. There you go. That's the chicken coop pack by Nikki. Next we've got over here, we have got the fuel bank 3,000 litre. It's by Mac Trucker 921. 1.29 megabytes download, 4 slots on console, 3,000 litres capacity. This is a 3-point link mounted, or you can put it onto a trailer and strap it down. So if you need a tank somewhere, you could probably put it in the back of a pickup as well and strap it down. That I don't see why not. 3,000 litre, but if you want to put it on a 3-point link of anything with an adapter or however you want to go about it, it's entirely up to you. But just to give you the ability to transport your fuel around while you are working. This you'll find not under there. You'll find it under tools and miscellaneous. There you go. 2,500 as well. That's all it is. Nice and cheap. Tank colour. Anything on that palette. We've got some sort of metallics, and there's a Kubota orange. We've got a polished aluminium. There's a chrome in there as well, and there's a whole load to choose from. So you can pick and choose. And then the mount colour will do the bracket on the back and the straps around it. So if we change the mount colour, say to, I don't know, let's pick something that stands out, the green, there you go. Those are your options. And when you've got it, raises lowers on 3-point link, but like I say, we'll strap down onto trailers and things as well. Very nice indeed. The Lizard fuel tank, 3,000 litre by Mack Trucker 921. On the front of this, we've got the safety bumper. It's by Smety. This is 3.43 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. As you can see, still plays with tractors, absolutely. This is pretty cool. I think this may be an upgrade on this one. We've got lighting on the front of it as well. We have got indicators on it. If you put your beacons on, we've also got flashing beacons on the front too. Strobes, flashing beacons, strobes. I like that. Switch that. You can raise and lower, as you can do, I suppose, with most weights really. But this you will find your safety bumper under weights. 3,500. That's all it's going to cost you. Slot count will come down from 2 to 1. You can have sticker on there, no, and then you can go through various different manufacturers. So we've got Fendt, John Deere, New Holland, Valtra, Deutz-Fahr, JCB, Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Claas, Steiger, Case, Michelin, then King of the Road, best tractor driver ever, and still plays with tractors, or back off again. Then design colour changes the weight. Now obviously depending on what design colour you go for will depend on how much easier it is to see what you've put on there. So if I change that back now to one of those, it's a little bit harder to see. King of the Road's all right, but the ones that are in black are a little bit harder, and obviously with Michelin it's going to depend. So you'd have to have a bit of a play around and see which ones you want to go for. But there you go. That's the safety bumper by Smety. Moving on from there. We've got this, the Dalbo Hydraflex 5.2 by Hydraulik, 4.33 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. It's a 5.2 meter roller, nice and cheap as well. If you need to do rolling to get your extra bit of bonus once you've done your seeding, sowing, and you roll your fields afterwards. A nice size roller can help out immensely. You find it under rollers. There you go, 3,100. That's all it is for a 5.2 meter. That's pretty cool. Oh, no options available. You get it just like that. So we should start up. Now I haven't sewn anything, but it should still roll, I think. I'm trying to remember now. I'm not getting now, is it? There you go. Great price, not a bad size. Your roller for rolling after you've done your sewing. I mean, you can roll it anytime you want, but you know, when you've done your sewing, you get your little bonus on the end when it says needs rolling. Nice smooth animation on the folding and unfolding. Nice sound effects. Very cool. The Dalbo Hydraflex by Hydraulik. Next, we've got this. This is the Lizard Subsoiler Gen 4 MTS. It's by JDModding ARG. Is that about Argentina? I always say ARG because that's ARG. This is 3.56 megabytes download, 4 slots on console and 4 meters wide. Now this should give us a subsoiled state like ploughing, but a cultivated look, and probably shallow cultivated look, but doesn't always. It depends. Sometimes you get subsoilers and you'll get a ploughed look. We'll have a look and see when we drop this down. But 4 meter wide subsoiler, which you'll find. I keep pressing the wrong button. Under subsoilers. There we go. Out on the end there. 35 grand for a 4 meter wide. Requires 200 horsepower. It's a heavy old bit of kit. No options available. You get it just like that. So we should just drop that down. There we go. So you're going to get a ploughed state, but a cultivated look, shallow cultivated look. Nice bit of swayer movement across the ground on that as well. Gives it a bit more of a kind of realistic, immersive feel to it. Very nice indeed. The Lizard Subsoiler Gen 4 MTS by JDModding ARG. Next, don't worry, we'll get to those. We've got this, the KUHN. Interesting watching the Farm Sim show with DJ Goham and Clutch on Friday, and they were going through some mods and saying exactly the same thing, just spelling that out, because you just have to, unfortunately. The IT26 custom by GTX, 3.85 megabytes download, 4 slots on console, 26,000 litre IT runner, real Oggy IT26. So this is your Atomix ration mixer. You can shred bales if you want to do straw with this kind of thing, whatever. But the great thing about this is you can either put it onto an IT runner trailer or an IT runner lorry, and you can run it, or you can put it off the back by your feed trough, and you can actually access this without it being on a vehicle. So you can get it to run without it's got its own sort of generator, own power source, power unit. So you can leave it sat there, and then you can bring stuff over whenever you need to do it, put your bales in, put your loose products in, whatever you want to do, and then turn on your mixer, and away you go. So it's a pretty handy bit of kit. This you'll find under... What is wrong with me today? You'll find it under Animals, on the end, 49 grand, 26,000 litre, no options available, you can do it just like that. So what you'll find is, if I get into my IT runner vehicle, and it doesn't matter which way point it is, you'll see on the back there you've got that little display. It says 26,000 litres. I've got total mix ration in here. If you look to the top left, it tells you your mix ratio. So for 26,000 litre mix ratio, the two components of hay and silage at 37.4%, that's 9,724 litres of each of those. The straw comes in at 5,304, and if you're going to put the mineral feed in with it, that's 1,248. Now, you can either eyeball it, and you can just do it loose until you hit those things in the green. It doesn't have to be those precisely, but as long as you're within the white arrows, you should be fine for your mix. And bottom right, as long as it comes up with the total mix ration symbol there, you're golden. It's you know, you can mix them however you want with all the various different bale sizes, and the fact you can use loose products and stuff. And some buy anything silos, you can just buy total mix rations directly into these if you wanted to. You can do that. Now, I haven't got an unload symbol come up here because you need to turn it on. So I need to turn on the mixer, and you'll see at the back the thing will start to rotate. There you go. And what I should get is the... Oh, by the water, that's not going to help. There we go. So now it's turned on, that will come on saying you can unload here if I want to. If I turn off the mixer, that will disappear. So if you're using this and you've got an IT runner back and you're thinking, I don't get it, I'm next to here, why is it not coming up? You need to turn that mixer on for that to come up. So you can do it directly like that, or like I say, if we unload this, turn it off, and I need to unload it so that the actual unload point is right by my trough, so it's the correct location. That should be okay. Disconnect and get that out of the way. So if we go into the back of this, this will say enter vehicle. And it puts you on the back, like that. Same options come up. We have to turn on the mixer, because at the moment I've not got anything showing up saying I can unload. Turn on the mixer, and then it comes up. Start overloading total mix ration. So it turns the whole thing on. Again, I've got the fan going just in front of my face. If I unload now, the digital readout should start to go down. There we go. Because I'm unloading from there into the trough. So it doesn't have to be on a vehicle at all. I think that's brilliant. We had it on FS19, I think, didn't we? I'm pretty sure I used it on Sussex Farms. And then, like I say, once it's empty, you can come along and you can just throw bales into it, or if you've got, however you want to go about this, entirely to you, of course. Nice animations, does the job. Stop overloading. Turn it off, and then exit the vehicle. That's cool. There we go. The KUHN IT26 Custom by GTX. Moving on from there, we've got this. This is really cool. This is the LH822D. This is by Woodcraft Modding and Oscar 8599. 27.7 megabytes download, 19 slots on console. This will go up to 20 metre cuts at half-metre cut lengths. This is a tree harvester, as you can see, and it comes like this with the actual head facing down. The level of detail, I'd say on the mods, well, all the mods, but the vehicles we're going to look at now, this and the tractors we've got today, I have to say the level of detail on them is astoundingly good. So yeah, it's a nice compact unit, not huge. It's not cheap. I would say that it's not cheap. There's a few different options to look at on this. If we go to our vehicles and we go to our forestry machines, out on the end there. 485,600 for this, the LH822D. Now we have got the option of a narrow undercarriage, a wider undercarriage, or we can go for wider undercarriage with peak bands. So that spreads the load and avoids you disappearing into peaty, soggy soil, ground, etc. But you don't have to have those, you can have that on that. You've got rear shield, yes or no. That gives you a sort of plough on the back. You can either lift the whole unit up or you can use that for moving logs around if you want to. And then you've got lizard crane function, lizard crane system function, no or yes. If you have it on no, the cab won't tilt on uneven ground. If you want the cab to tilt so that when you're on uneven ground the cab stays level, you want to put that to yes. You need that, otherwise it won't tilt. So just be aware of that. Those are your options. So let's hop in it and start it up. As you can see, door opens and closes. We're on group control crane. L1, right stick side to side. We've got our movement either way. Lighting, very good on this. No beacons. Horn, but I love that. Look, that little animation. As I move that around, look. All the cables attached by that hook thing, but they're all moving around as I move the thing. It's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Interior shot is like that. It's a strange look, I suppose, because of the design of it and the angle of it. And then press it again, you get that one on the head, and then that back there again. So under our crane options, we got our up and down, side to side. Then R1, up and down gives you this extension out, and then we can also do stick side to side, which will give our extension out like that, which is brilliant. Now, for the head itself, L1, R1, and left stick side to side is what's going to rotate that. Now, it's a really slow rotation, but once you've got it in position, you normally would have it in the position we're going to now, and then if you want to pick logs up off the floor, you would put it facing the ground. But that's how it comes. It just comes out. So once I've got that into position, we should be fine. L1 then, we've got change cut length. Like I said, half metre increments, and that goes all the way up to 20 metres, then back to 1 metre again. Unfold the tree harvester, you need to do first, before it will allow you to turn the tree harvester on. So that should be done now. If I turn on the tree harvester, we should be ready to go. I think it sounds brilliant. A little bit of squeak on the tracks, which you'd expect, I guess. Cut, lift, pull back to one side. Normally that kind of helps a little bit. Then do our cutting. I love that rev up of the engine when it's doing its operation. It needs that extra power. Fantastic. If I do R1, is it L1? Oh no, it's changed. If I go from control group crane to control group extra functions and then do R1, I've got raised crane arm, and that will do your plough unit on the back. So if you want to push logs around or you want to raise the unit up a little bit, you can. But this is what I was going to show you. If you've gone for that option that I mentioned, which allows the cab to tilt so it stays level, let's get to this bit, and it works really well. There we go. So as the whole bottom section is moving to allow for the ground, obviously there's a limit, but it's still pretty cool, I have to say. Works very well indeed. So there we go. The LH822D by Woodcraft Modding and Oscar 8599. It's a cool piece of kit, that. Turn that off. And out we go. Awesome. Next we have got the Kiravetes K700. This is a cracker of a mod. The level of detail on this is crisp, it's clean, it just... Oh, it's brilliant. I love this. This is really... Don't get me wrong, the last mods we're going to look at in a minute are great, but this is, I think personally, this is my favourite for today. But don't tell the other ones. So this is by, I think it's Timur Zianov 102, Mac and Ariane 10. 50.65 megabytes download, 18 slots on console. You'll find it under tractors. I think it's large tractors, I believe. Right on the end there, 73 grand. So this one I think goes up to 290 horsepower, and that's only about 86 grand. It's brilliant. So that's how it starts life. That's how we get it initially. So you can have the hood trim, yes or no. So you can either have the side panels on to hide the engine bay or open. I prefer it like that personally, but that's personal preference. External decals. So you've got left door and nothing on the right door. Or as we move through, it goes through, takes off the decal on that one, but then it goes through numbers on this door up to 9, I think it was. I want to say 9. Yep. Then we go decal on the left door, which stays, and then it goes to all the numbers up to 9. So depends, or you can have them all off if you want to. So decal on that side, and then up to 9 on that side, or all off if you want. I'm going to leave that on because we'll need that in a minute. Internal design, there's a whole lot of stuff this can add in. We'll have a look in the cab in a moment. We've got standard, big oil can, earmuffs, bag, big oil can and bag. It goes for a whole load. Can, bag, earmuffs, can and toolbox, small oil can. You can go for all those different options and have a whole load of stuff in there. External design, we've got standard, we've got an external cab filter on the roof, we've got beacon lights, triangle on the back, and then again combinations of cab filter, beacon lights, cab filter, triangle, or all of them. Then fuel, we've got a standard, we've got plus 30 litre, plus 60 litre or off, so you can take up to 510 litre fuel tank. Then engine, 220 horsepower, 240 horsepower, 265 or 290. And as I say, with a few changes there, that's currently sitting at 85,930 for a 290 horsepower tractor. Pretty cool. Then wheel setup, we've got standard, hubcaps, weights 2, 3, 4, wheel weights 2, 3, 4, front twins, so front twins single rear or twins all round, then back to standard again. We've got main colour choice, all of those in that palette, so depends what you want to go for, and that will do the bottom section, as you can see. And then cabin colour, as you can imagine, does the cabin section, which you can change to a different colour or corresponding, or however you want to go about it. Facing colour is the plate on the front, changes that, and then decal colour, that's why I left the decals on. We can change those as well if you've got them, if you want them to stand out, it's entirely up to you. Then rim colour, again mixing and matching if you want, depending on whether you've got the weights and stuff as well, will depend on which versions you get. And then there's license plate option on there as well. Sounds great too. Let's hop in, start it up. Love it. Love it. Lights. It's not just me, is it? It looks great. And sounds brilliant. There's no doors or windows on this one that open. Well, there are doors and windows, but they don't open and close. But interior, so like I said, you've got the earmuff and you've got the oil can down there. We've got a can down the side of us. There's a toolbox and a tool bag around the back there. So it depends what all the different options you went for. We've also got inside, you can turn on the fan. If it gets a bit warm in here, but look at the detail, the level of detail, the decals on all the dash, all the dials, it's crisp and clean. Let's turn the fan off. What a mod. What a mod. I love it. I absolutely love it. There you go. The Kiravetes K700 by Tima Zyanov 102 Mac and Ariane 10. Now, I was just about to say this brings me on to the last of the mods for today, and this is going to bring me on to the last of the mods for this mod review. However, I've just refreshed my mod hub. I'm all this way through having set everything up, and there's another mod that's just popped up. The Voucher Pack by Paul and Zuckerbro. I'm not going to be able to do that in this mod review because I've already prepped and set up, and I'm going to be running close to my time, so potentially I'll get into that tomorrow. There is also a map out today. I apologise if I say this wrong. Oberkirchheim, I think it is, by the Lort. I'll hopefully get onto the mod review on that, the map tour of that tomorrow, hopefully. I'm not sure about the Voucher Pack, whether when or how or whether I'm going to get onto that. But anyway, apologies to Paul and Zuckerbro. That popped up later after I'd started prepping everything. Sorry. So we've got the Case IH the Case IH AFS Connect Steiger series by KarlFarms and Custom Modding. Now, I said about the level of detail on this, these are no different. I mean, the only reason I'm freaking out a little bit more about that, I suppose, is it's an older tractor. I like that style of tractor. And we have got some Case tractors and quad tracks and Steigers and things already. That is a little bit different. I think that's probably why I went. But that being said, the detail on these, the tracks as well, the three-dimensional track work on these, on all of them, and the options are just phenomenal. They are absolutely amazing. Well, that one, just to start off, that's 34 slots, that's 33 slots, that's 37 slots, and that's 37 slots. We'll have a look at all the options on them. Some of the options are the same, some of them are quite different. And then we'll have a listen to them all starting up. Like I say, the tracks on them, oh, wow, just brilliant. So, you find these under large tractors as well. We start there with the AFS Connect Steiger Series Row Track. So that's the one that starts at 34 slots. Options on this then. We've got Continental or Lizard. Those are the two choices. We start off with the Rotec 16.5s. Hang on. 18s, 21s, 24s, 30s. And then we go to HP 16s, changes the treads. 18, 21, 24, 30. Then we go to HPX 16, 18, 21, 24, 30. Back. Then under Lizard, we've got the RD4500 16s, 18s, 21s, 24s, 30s. Then we go to the Ace Track 16, 18, 21, 24, 30. The HT3500 16. Was that what we started off with? Hang on. Oh, no. Sorry, hang on. The HT3500 16, 18, 21, 24, 30. The AG3500s. The PD6500s. The Gators. And then back to the RD 4500s, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, whole loads to be looking at track-wise on those, and they look brilliant. So track spacing, 80 inch, 88 inch, 120 inch. We've got design, let's come out a little bit. We've got US spec, EU spec, EU without the placards, US with rock box, EU with rock box, oversize with rock box, back to US. Front options on the sides there. I think this is the same on all of them. I will say that as we go through. We've got front weight carrier, £600, £1,200, £1,800, back again. Windows, we've got default, then we go through some tints, back to default. Beacons, we've got both default, left default, right default. Strobes, like LEDs, left, right, off, or both default. Then lights, we've got standard lights, added front cab lights, then you can have LED lights at the front, and then added cab lights as well. In-cab monitors, there's a whole load of monitors this goes through, and I think depending on what monitors you go through will depend on some of the options that pop up. But we've got field viewer in there, precision planting, both of those combined, Kinsey planter monitors, field viewer and Kinsey, and then it says real dashboard, and it runs through some more, then back to none. Floor covering default, rubber matting, cardboard, carpet, or back to default. Exhaust, we've got default, or we've got a rain cap. Attachers, rear hitch, rear weight bracket, then we go through weights on the back, quick hitch, back to rear hitch. Fleet numbers goes from 1 through to 9. Engine setup on this one, 468 horsepower, 524 horsepower, 558 horsepower, and then back to 468, is what we started on. Yeah. Then we've got main colour choice, we've got red, black, or silver, that's the same with each of them as well. Design colour does the seat. So you can have red leather, black leather, or grey leather, and then license plate option 2. So that's the Steiger Series Row Track. Then we've got the Steiger Series Narrow Frame. This we've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Vredestein, Lizard. As you can see, monster LSWs. So there's a few to be choosing from. I'm not going to read them all out, but these are under Trelleborg. Actually, that's pretty cool. With the 3 metre spacing, but anyway, yeah, sorry. Cool. Michelin. Is that back to his side? I think it was. Then we got Continental. Then Mitas. I think it was just those options. Yep. BKT. Friedrichstein. Lizard. So you got the 1400 LSWs. Then we go down from here. We've got those with weights, but we got 1250s, 1100s. But then you got the wide one on 1100s. But then that one, dual 1100s, beast. Awesome. Same thing with this, same design specs. We've got US, EU, without placard, rock boxes, all the ones I showed you on them. We've got same options on this. Same with the front options with weights. Same with the windows. We've got beacon lights exactly the same, defaults then LEDs, left, rights. Lights, same thing. We've got standard. We've got front cab lights, LED lights, LED lights with front cab. Same with all the monitors on the inside. That doesn't help because of the tint, does it? Same with the monitors. There's a whole load of options to run through the various monitors inside. Floor covering is the same, default cardboard carpet, back to default. Exhaust, the same, default or rain cap. Attachers, the same on the back. We've got rear hitch, weight frame, weights, and then quick hitch. Fleet numbers again, 1 through 9. Engine setup on this, 425 horsepower, 462, 524, and back to 45 again. Main colour options, exactly the same, red, black, or silver. Design colour, same with the seats. Rim colour, now if you haven't got tracks, obviously you've got rims, so you've got grey, a darker grey, a black, or a white, which is much lighter, sort of silver really. It says white. License plate option on there too. Then move to the AFS Steiger series quad track. Again, a ton of options. Lizard and Continental again on these. We'll go through the tracks. There we go. Under Continental, I think we've got the Trackman XP30s up to 36s. I think it was just those, the Trackman. I don't think there's any other options under those. Then again, we go for all the same options on this with design, front options, window tints, beacon lights, in-cab monitors, floor coverings, exhaust. All the stuff is exactly the same. Don't just say, apart from this, we've got a Welker logo option on this because the Welker Farms guys a couple of times have had quad tracks to test out on the farm. So you have no extinguisher with the Welker logo. So that's something a little bit different on that one. Fleet number's the same. Engine on this one, 524, 558, 613, 647, or 692 horsepower. Same options with the colours. And design colour does the seats again. License plate option on there too. Which brings on to the last one, which is the AFS Connect Steiger Series wide frame. So, I think the tyre choices are the same as the other one that was wheeled as well. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Friedrichstein, Lizard. Again with 1400s on this one, and that does look amazing. But whew, anyway, yeah. And then we go for the same options. Pretty much the same. This has got the Welker one on it as well, I think. Have we got Welker? Yeah, Welker logo on there if you want the Welker logo. Fleet number's the same. Engine setup on this, 558, 613, 647, and 692. Main colour option is the same. Design colour for the seat. Rim colour, again, because it's wheels. And license plate option on there too. But they do look just amazing. They sound phenomenal too, so let's start this one up. So the lighting, I think we went for the LED on this LED package. Standard exhaust, I think I went for, did I go for rubber matting in this one? I think I went for rubber matting in this one. Now, let's just double check something. R1 and right stick up and down does the steering wheel. We go inside, L1 and right stick side to side changes that monitor screen. Now I think if you've got, depending on what monitor, although I've got all the monitors here, L1 and right stick up and down, I can't work out what that does. I've tried on a few of them and I can't. Side to side definitely does that monitor there. But then L1 R1, let's go back out here, L1 R1, left stick side to side rotates the seat, so you can turn the seat round to the side. Right stick up and down does the bonnet, and right stick side to side does the door. Light comes on as well. Very cool. But I can't go over these on the tracks as well. But what's also cool about these, the lean as it moves, which is great. The cab movement on all four of these, as you accelerate and brake, you've got a nice bit of cab movement. Also, you've got that nice bit of articulation, not just in that axis, but also in this axis. So when you get a hill, let me just whiz over to it, you've got brilliant sort of suspension. You can sort of see it rocking slightly as we go across the ploughed field. It's a little bit like that crane was. If we just get to a bit where we've got a bit of an incline, you'll see that amount of movement we've got between the front and the rear. Look at that. It's very cool. Very nicely made and modded. I went for the beacons on this one. But you've also noticed on the top of the cab at the back, whilst the beacons are flashing, you've got that light on the roof as well that flashes too. I'm trying to think what am I missing? Totally blank. So, as far as options go for each of the other ones, the door, windows, steering wheel, all of that is the same. R1 and right stick up and down. L1, R1, left stick, side to side does the seat. Up and down does the bonnet. Side to side does the door. Those are the same on each model. This one I went for standard lights, but you can see the cardboard beneath my feet. I went for a cardboard floor in this one. Not as many monitors on this one as well. The articulation is the same. Yeah, they're great models. Great mods, really well done. I wonder, is it something to do with those? I've got to find out what that is for. There's got to be an option that I haven't picked on one of them, but I thought I'd tried to go for all of them. But anyway. So rain cap on that one, single beacon on that one, rock box in the front. They are lovely. There's only so many times I can say that, I know, but I love the way the ladder moves as it articulates, so the ladder gets out of the way of catching the tracks as it goes. That one I went for carpet inside. Lovely bit of red trim on the carpet. And then the last one, like I say, I went for the dual 1100s on this one. I was going to go for the big 1400s, but I thought, no, let's go for dual 11s because that just looks mint. Single flashing beacon on this one. I split between the US specs and the EU specs. We have got the indicator stalks on, obviously, on this one. But it's got the stalks into the US spec. I did go rock box on this one, did I, mate? It's actually moving as well, the little bit of the tyre deformation as you get the impact on the ground. You know, I know a lot of tractors do it, but it's just, you know, it's there, isn't it? It's cool. So there we go. That's it. I know it's not technically it, but that's it for the mod review from me for today. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. That's cut by KarlFarms and custom modding, as I said. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.